30 seconds. Look happy you're on TV. Birthday. Good evening. Welcome to the Kingsport Board of Mayor and Alderman Business Meeting. This is the meeting where we vote. We're in the Montgomery Watterson Boardroom, and the first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, led by one of our distinguished citizens, Mr. Danny Carson. And by the way, this is Danny's birthday. Happy birthday. And Danny is accompanied by his beautiful wife, Carla. And please remain standing for the invocation. It'll be led by Darrell Duncan, one of our aldermen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's bow our heads for a moment of silence, followed by a word of prayer. Our kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the city we call home. As city leaders, we humbly ask for your wisdom and guidance as we make decisions that affect us and our citizens. Grant us clarity and compassion as we value our responsibility. We also pray for the leaders all across our community, that they may act with integrity and dedication, working to build a city for justice, peace, and with prosperity. Bless the citizens with unity and understanding, that together we may create an environment for people of all kinds who want to live, work, and raise their families here. Help us act with kindness and respect toward one another, regardless of any social status there may be. We are especially grateful for our first responders who selflessly put their lives on the line to keep us safe each and every day. Surround them with your protection. Grant them strength and comfort for their families. May your presence be felt in every corner of our city, guiding us toward a brighter future, filled with hope and respect, and be with everyone who is here tonight. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Darrell, thank you, and Danny, thank you. Madam Recorder, please call the roll.
Mayor Schul.
Here.
Vice Mayor George.
Here.
Alderman Cooper.
Here.
Alderman Duncan.
Here.
Alderman Montgomery.
Here.
Alderman Ulterman.
Here.
Alderman Phillips.
Here.
Thank you. All 7 elected officials are present, as well as the city manager and appropriate staff. Mr. City Manager.
All right, so I get to do a recognition tonight, and I'm going to ask Jeff if he'll come up here and join me. I had ChatGPT put this together, so we're good. So tonight we're dedicating a very special plaque for Jeff, and a few remarks that I want to make in regards to that. So when Jeff announced his retirement after 35 years of service to the city of Kingsport, he made it very clear he accomplished the goals he'd set out to do as manager. One of those goals was a comprehensive facilities analysis that would ultimately see us move into this facility 3 years ago. In my remarks at the ribbon cutting for our new city hall, I commented on that move by stating that when Jeff became city manager, he brought to the seat a 30-year career, all of which with the city of Kingsport. During his career leading up to being named city manager, Jeff was able to see firsthand the strengths and weaknesses of all of our facilities, not just our former city hall. Jeff would ultimately cast a vision that would task staff with developing a comprehensive evaluation of all of our facilities. Elements of that vision are still being implemented today, which in time will strengthen our operations and deliver further efficiencies. On a side note, not planned, tonight we are awarding the bid for the Justice Center, which is phase 2 of that vision that you had. So tonight we want to officially unveil this plaque recognizing Jeff, a plaque that will be placed in a room that meant so much to Jeff over his career with the city of Kingsport. Throughout my career, and I'm sure many others, Jeff always reminded me that this space, our boardroom, was much more than a place where we would gather 4 times a month to discuss business of the city. It was a place where members of our community would gather to discuss various matters regarding our city. It was a place where city staff would gather for meetings, training, or to celebrate the career of our employees. More than anything, we all knew this space belonged to the citizens of Kingsport. The plaque that we are dedicating tonight that reflects Jeff's path to the position of city manager, but ends with a quote from Jeff that is a reflection of everything we know and love about him. Our responsibility is to create an environment where people can discover their gifts, develop their gifts, share their gifts, and be recognized and appreciated for doing so. Jeff, this plaque, which we're going to give to you, we've got one that's already hung up in the back there, I hope will inspire people to serve our city in a variety of ways with the same passion you display every single day. So on behalf of the board and the great employees of this city, we want to dedicate this to you in honor for everything you've done for us. Thank you.
You know, I was just thinking, reflecting, and, you know, now being retired 5 years, you know, Chris has now been city manager as long as I was city manager. And so the only model I ever knew in Kingsport, and really was replicated in many places across the state and country, is 5 years and out, 5 years and out. It was like, you know, being a circuit riding preacher, and you knew that your time was coming. Well, I never wanted to leave Kingsport. So I never even attempted to become city manager before that. Having known now, you know, what I didn't know then, I would have, you know, I tried to do it much sooner, simply because it was truly an opportunity to change your hometown. I walked in as an intern. The city of Kingsport paid for my master's degree. They afforded me opportunities for promotion, and I was very, very grateful to be able to serve my hometown. But you know, there's one other person that walked in as an intern and has now become city manager, and that's Chris McCart. And so that made it possible for me to retire with a clear conscience and ease of mind, was having people like Chris and Ryan, because we did everything as three, because we complemented each other so much. So sitting back and watching how Chris has continued to grow and seeing the prospects for the future, which I hope he stays a very long time and breaks that 5 years and out cycle, and I'm confident you will. It's a chance to make a lasting difference for a lifetime. So I just appreciate you remembering me, and I appreciate everything that you do. I was talking with John Campbell one time, and again, all my experience has been Kingsport, and he said, you know, I've watched Kingsport for years, and he said, there's a changeover in administrations, there's a changeover in elected officials, but the common denominator is every single one of them love Kingsport. And he said, that's rare. So you have a very rare situation. I do attribute it to the Kingsport spirit. Thank you all for emulating that, and I appreciate y'all for remembering me. Thank you.
Okay. Jeff, I know Zach can carry that if it's too heavy for you. Jeff, thank you for your service, not only to the city government, but to our community overall. And Jeff continues to serve in a variety of ways, including directing the Move to Kingsport program, which has been very successful. So thank you, Jeff. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we'll continue on and ask that Bonnie come up for our Keep Kingsport Beautiful Awards.
All right, first off, I'd like to thank Bowen Landscaping for sponsoring the Beautification Awards. Make sure I know how to do this. It did not go.
Sit on.
It might not be. Thank you. All right. Our first award goes to Rick Barger for his home. It features landscape that is well-maintained, clean, and manicured. And that's on Ambridge Drive. The second one is the home of Scott and Christy Cohen. And this home's landscape features colorful impatiens, periwinkle, daylilies, boxwoods, nandina, and English laurel. And around back is a peaceful sitting area with a fire pit, a koi pond, and waterfall made of stone. A gazebo area is perfect for entertaining or just relaxing by the fire. They have lived there for 20 years, and they say the backyard is their favorite getaway. Our next one is the home of Adam and Christine Burke. And this home's landscape features rose bushes, crepe myrtle, and colorful flowers. There's patriotic bunting flags cover the front porch railings, and a large welcome sign greets visitors at the front door. Our next award goes to Sean and Sharon Grass on Cox Hollow Road, and this home features lots of planters with red and white flowers, including petunias, and the red theme continues with a gorgeous crepe myrtle in the front yard. The home shows off a patriotic theme with flags, yard flags, a flag-covered pillow on the front porch rocking chair. Yard art includes a cast iron dinner bell and an antique wagon. The next one is the home of Kathy Jennings in Allendale Circle, and this home's landscaping includes a mixture of boxwoods, bright perennials, colorful window boxes to complement the plants in the pots around the yard, and touches of bunny statues. The homeowner also has shared her enthusiasm for her favorite college team, the Tennessee Vols, and the landscaping. Our next winner is Jerry and Gay Gillis on Watauga Street, and the pops of red flowers complement the home's white siding, black shutters, and burgundy front door. A burgundy table sits in between two black rocking chairs on one side of the porch, while white wicker chairs welcome visitors to the other side of the porch. Beautiful ferns and hanging baskets complete the look. And our church winner for this month is Central Baptist Church. The church spans a large area with multiple entrances. It's a welcoming campus with ample parking, well-maintained with freshly mowed grass that's well-trimmed. A beautiful crepe myrtle stands tall on the church grounds. And while the greenery is minimal, it is a very clean and well-maintained campus. The business winner for this month is the Top House on Eastman Road. This restaurant features a well-maintained landscape with lots of nicely trimmed bushes and colorful begonias that welcome guests to the front doors. And last, our redevelopment winner for August is King City Distillery. There's the before picture, and here's the after. This redeveloped property now features a modern distillery in the heart of downtown with a design that combines industrial chic with urban sophistication. The building includes a mixture of exposed brick, wooden beams, and large glass windows that allow passersby to catch a glimpse of the distillation process inside. As you enter the business, you're greeted by a spacious open concept tasting room with high ceilings, contemporary furnishings. The decor is a blend of rustic and refined with vintage barrels repurposed as tables on top of polished concrete floors. And ambient lighting highlights the gleaming copper stills and stainless steel tanks, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. And at this time, we'd like to recognize all the beautification award winners that are here. Could you please stand and be recognized? Congratulations.
And thank you, award winners, both people that are present and the ones that couldn't make it. The board is deeply appreciative of the businesses, the churches, and the homeowners who do such a great job of maintaining their buildings, and it really reflects well on our community. Thank you. Mr. City Manager.
I move into the comment section, Mayor. Oh, I'm sorry, Tommy.
We have some special remarks from my colleague, Alderman Tommy Alderman.
watched many people sign this book. I think I ought to sign it. First of all, I'd like to thank the following people for giving me 9 years of service as an alderman for the city of Kingsport. It's been my honor and privilege. I have attended TML meetings across the state, from Memphis to Nashville, and nationally to Texas, a representative of Kingsport. These were some great trips too. You know I had a good time on them. I want to thank my family. This doesn't get any easier. My sisters, Kathy Forrester, won't y'all come up here? Lisa Olterman and Suzanne Duggar. My son Derek and his friend Crystal. I'll get him married one of these days. And my grandchildren, Bentley and Carly. Carter and Jackson. We went through a rough time here recently, back in January. And these boys have remained strong. And they loved their mother. And we loved her too. I've enjoyed working with two mayors, John Clark, Pat Shaw. I've also worked with 3 city managers. That's John Campbell, Jeff Fleming, and Chris McCord. I've been in politics since I was 21. I worked as a field rep for Congressman Quillen and worked for Sullivan County and the State Economic Development Effort and the Tennessee Valley Authority. Along with that, I served on the Sullivan County Commission. It has been a pleasure to serve the citizens of Kingsport and Sullivan County. I've enjoyed working with Michael Borders, Ryan McReynolds, Jessica Harmon, and Chris McCart. They're a great team. Now, if y'all all come up here, we'll get our pictures made. Okay?
Alderman family,
Huh?
come on up.
Y'all come up here.
For those that might not be aware, Alderman will complete his term of service on 31 August.
I'll take a picture.
He's coming.
Wait till Dee gets in here.
Come on, Dee. Here, get in here, baby.
Big group.
All right. You going first? Got it. All right. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tommy, and thank you, Alderman family. We've reached the point in our proceedings where citizens may come forward to the podium and comment on items on the agenda or issue-oriented items, items of general interest to our community. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address and sign the register that is provided. You're encouraged to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they should be limited to 5 minutes. We do time this so we can keep the meeting moving along. A total of 30 minutes is allocated for public comment. Are there any citizens that wish to come forward and address the board? If there are no citizens that wish to come forward, I declare,
Wait, you got one.
oh, I'm sorry, please come forward. And if I could get you to sign the register, ma'am, with your name and address.
I'm a citizen of Kingsport, born and raised. I live off of Kendricks Creek Road in Colonial Heights, Tennessee.
And your name, ma'am?
It's a public forum, but my name's Liz. You can all call me Liz. So, it seems like I'm the only person here advocating today, but that's perfectly fine. I personally know that this is a every meeting agenda as this issue continues to rise every single day. This isn't a once a month discussion. This isn't a once every blue moon discussion. This is an every minute discussion, actually. So, last meeting, we were here, and in the news, not long after, a statement comes out. Mr. Phillips. It says here in the newspaper, these aren't the words of anyone here, please say so, but it says, fourth, there is the idea that Kingsport has a massive homeless problem to which no one is paying any attention. That turns out not to be the case. Kingsport is not San Francisco or Portland. We have some homeless people. Most of these are substance abusers or drug addicts. That is incorrect. Most, saying that the majority. That's very incorrect at this time with our stats and numbers, as homelessness is increasing due to our housing crisis. People cannot move in anywhere unless they make 3 times the rent, and our minimum wage is $7.25. We are very blessed in Kingsport. A lot of businesses have gone to $10 an hour at least for the minimum wage, but I currently face making $9 an hour, and I'm 24 in the middle of getting a degree in political science, and I have lots of very heavy experience with many different things. So I know that, yes, I'm leaving my house every day. That was one of the sentences in here. Do we even leave our homes? Yeah, we leave our homes. The question is, do you all? Because when I walk down this street, I don't just see drug addicts. I see mothers with babies. I meet veterans on these streets. And in fact, it was 2 years ago, as we know it, the very incident that is leading to this city being sued, that they were harassing, I saw this with my very own eyes, a veteran, a homeless veteran, someone who fought for this country, fought for your rights to sit in the very seats that you're in right now, waiting for a meal. So to sit on the stairs was a fire hazard. To stand on the sidewalk, he was loitering. He couldn't even get a hot meal. But it's just drug addicts, mostly just drug addicts. I met 3 veterans while I was at Westside. I met 5, 6 children that were between the ages of 13 and 18. I met 7 children that were below the age of 10, and I met 3 babies and 2 expecting mothers, one of which just asked me for a ride tomorrow for an interview at ACT, because we were successful in some people. I got to watch her baby get born, and now she is in a sober living house. There are drug addicts, and you're right. There are a lot, I won't say some, there are a lot that choose to continue the life that they're living, and it is unfortunate for that. I've learned something in recovery. I took myself a long time ago just to learn that you can't get the help until you want the help, but there are many that want the help, but we don't have the resources that we're so claiming, because you say that we have 5 shelters. I'd like to know where they are, because the Salvation Army is the only full shelter. Family Promise helps some people, but Salvation Army is also closed from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Snow, rain, doesn't matter. What about people that can't get a day shift job? They have to get a night shift job. When are they supposed to sleep and shower and eat and rest their legs, especially these elderly people, because most of our homeless are over the age of 60. We have to stop looking at drug addicts also as lesser than ourselves, because they are just people who have been failed by the system, the toxic system that runs forever and ever in a cycle. It's a privilege to have so many things right now. I'm learning that myself. Not having phone service, it's funny, they say that we're attached to our phones, but it's because it's been made that way. I can't get food stamps because I don't have service to get a call back. And I'm one step close to homelessness, and I'm not a drug addict. I don't even drink. But I'm lucky because my dad lets me stay with him. That's how I'm able to do school, and that's how I'm able to work my $9 an hour job at the Super 8, which is not fun. In my first week, I cleaned up heroin and needles and blood. I know there's a drug problem. I absolutely know there is. But there's so many voices not being heard and not being listened to, and they've done nothing wrong to end up where they are. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other citizens that wish to come forward?
My name is Tim Sanders. And I
Would
live
you
at-
please sign in, Mr. Sanders, with your name and address?
Again, my name is Tim Sanders. I live at 1213 Bloomingdale Pike. I just wanted to come down today and say, Pat, thank you for your service, not only in the military, but for your service to the citizens of Kingsport. It is a chore sometimes, and I did get your jokes, so keep going with them. They're pretty cool. Tommy, thank you, my friend. It's a commitment to serve. And both you men not only had the commitment, but you also had the courage to step back. So I just wanted to come and say thank you. I just got over the new COVID variant, and I do not suggest getting that. It does blow. But I wanted to come and say thank you, too.
Thank you. Are there any other citizens that wish to come forward? If not, I declare this portion of our proceedings to be concluded. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we move into the appointments. First is consideration of an appointment of the City of Kingsport Municipal Judge. It is the recommendation as the result of a resignation from Kurt Rose. It is recommended to appoint Russell Atkins to the municipal judge for the City of Kingsport. Mayor, any comments you'd like to make?
This doesn't come up that often to appoint a city judge. As you may be aware, Mr. Rose is now becoming a sessions judge. There's a recent election, so forth. I interviewed, with the assistance of our former city attorney, Mr. Mike Billingsley, 6 different candidates. And listen, I was really pleased that all 6 were great attorneys. I mean, they're very engaged in the community. Any of them could have done a good job. This was really tough to decide which one I would recommend to my colleagues, but I think we made a good choice. But I couldn't have made a bad choice with any of them. But Mr. Atkins' biography is in your book, and there was one thing I don't think it was included in his biography, was he's a University of Kentucky graduate, both undergraduate and law school. And unless there are any questions, Board, I'd like, would you like?
I like to say that I know Mr. Rose. I played ball with his dad,
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, he was a good man.
Yeah, he was a great man.
Yes, we appreciate you doing that, Tommy. We appreciate Judge Rose's service. He's a very solid individual.
And Chip don't fall far from a tree, I tell you that.
I agree, Tom. That's a great comment. So, do I hear a motion to approve this nomination?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Alderman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of an appointment to the Historic Zoning Commission. It's recommended to appoint Lindsay Newland to fill replacing the Scott Schreifer on the Historic Zoning Commission. We'd ask that you approve this appointment, please.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Montgomery. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next, we have the approval of minutes, first from the work session on August 5th, 2024, and second from the business meeting on August 6th, 2024. We'd ask that you approve these minutes as submitted, please.
And we can approve them together, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve both sets of minutes for the August 5th work session as well as the August 6th business meeting?
So moved.
Move Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Alderman. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next, we have the consideration of an ordinance to amend the stormwater management ordinance to meet the 2024 Small Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System, MS4, permit issued by the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. We'd ask that you approve this ordinance on second and final reading, please.
Thank you, and the board appreciates the extensive briefing and information provided prior to our first vote on this. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances, City of Kingsport, Tennessee, Chapter 38, Article 3, Stormwater Management, to provide a penalty for the violation of this ordinance and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Move Alderman Alderman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll, for the sake of our public, second readings ordinances require a roll call vote. Madam Recorder, please call the roll.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Alterman. Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, the item passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is consideration of a budget ordinance for various funds in fiscal '24. We'd ask that you approve this on second and final reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30, 2024, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, Madam Recorder, please call the roll.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Alterman. Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, the item passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is consideration of a budget ordinance for various funds in fiscal '25. We'd ask that you approve this ordinance on second and final reading, please.
Thank you. And revising our budget as we go along is a common practice. The most salient fact is that we're not exceeding the total amount of money that was allocated when we passed the budget as a whole. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If not, Madam Recorder, please call the roll.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Alterman. Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, the item passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, now moving into other business. Your next item is consideration of a resolution to purchase one Cat 420 backhoe loader and one Cat 306 mini excavator from the Tennessee State Contract Number 72872. These are fleet replacement vehicles. They will be used in our water and wastewater maintenance divisions. An idea of what those will look like. There's one of them.
Okay.
And for the mini excavator, here's the other. Very valuable pieces of equipment, as you might imagine. We're very fortunate to have our fleet replacement program, and allows us to depreciate the vehicles and then be able to replace them when they reach end of life.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, let me take the opportunity to say that the fleet management program is very well managed and runs well, and we appreciate the effort y'all put in that. Also, I'd like to point out to our audience, as I normally do, that if it seems like we're going through these action items very rapidly, it's because every member of the board has individually met with the city manager and gone over this in detail. Then we meet again in a work session, discuss them further, and by the time we get to this meeting, the voting meeting, we're pretty familiar with the subject. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of one 2024 CAT backhoe loader and one CAT mini excavator from Stowers Machinery utilizing Tennessee State Contract Number 72872 and authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order for the same.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to donate to the Friends of the Kingsport Public Library. It is recommended to donate $50,000 to the Friends. This will allow them to support the library through a variety of ways, through the purchase of material or other agreements we have necessary to provide much-needed services at our library. So we'd ask that you approve this resolution, please.
Thank you. And I would recommend to our citizens that they visit our website or they check the Times News. There's a good article on the temporary relocation of the library to the mall to facilitate our renovating the library, which is going to be a wonderful project. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing a donation in the amount of $50,000 to the Friends of the Kingsport Public Library for the purchase of materials for the library collection.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item comes to us from the Board of Education. This is consideration of resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order for Kingsport City Schools teacher laptops from Dell Marketing LP. It's recommended to purchase about 170 of these laptops, and we'd ask that you approve the resolution authorizing the purchase.
Thank you. Again, I'd point out to our citizens that in our system of government, the school board is elected in its own right. It makes decisions, but when they develop a budget, their budget has to be eventually approved by us, and then subsequently, during the course of a fiscal year, items like the one that's come before us tonight, we have to also approve, but they do a good job of managing their budget. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order to Dell Marketing LP for 170 Dell Latitude 5330 teacher laptops and Dell Premier rechargeable active pens for Kingsport City Schools.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second? Second. Second by Alderman Alderman. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to award the bid to Construction Partners LLC for the water and sewer warehouse renovations and to authorize the mayor to sign all applicable documents. As Ryan walked through last night, this has been a project we have been eyeing for some time with the move of the majority of our staff out of this space into the former Pet Dairy building and being able to renovate that for office space. That left the second phase of this project, which was to renovate the existing offices back into what it was originally intended for, which is warehouse use, and really kind of had a dual role up until here recently. Through this contract with Construction Partners, we'll be able to go in, make those necessary adjustments so we can get a lot of that valuable equipment that we have outside, get it inside, be able to keep better inventory of that, as well as just being able to move it through in a much more efficient way. And so we'd ask that you approve this resolution, allowing us to execute this contract.
Thank you, and we did receive a good briefing on this subject. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bid for the water and sewer warehouse renovation project to Construction Partners LLC and authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement for the same and all documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Cooper. Is there a second?
Second.
I don't know. I think the Vice Mayor won that one. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of resolution authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement with Uliance to implement an employee assistance program. This will be a new program that will replace an existing program beginning January 1 of 2025. Appreciate the work that has been done by our staff and HR
to bring this to us. As you can see in the first paragraph, this provides much-needed assistance for our employees should they need it in a wide range of topics. Definitely a big change from where we have been. So again, commend our HR team for putting this together. Mayor, we'd ask that you approve the resolution allowing us to enter into this contract.
And Mr. City Manager, I believe you've compiled a lot of data over the last few years that have shown that your employee wellness program overall has reduced the number of hours in which employees away from work.
That's exactly right. We have an outstanding on-site clinic, which was put in place actually by John Campbell years ago. And that program has helped us in many, many ways, as well as our employees and their dependents. It's reduced the amount of time that they're away from the job, which allows them to save those sick days for times when they will need it much more. But it's been an outstanding program, continues to benefit us greatly.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving an agreement with Uliance Incorporated to implement an employee assistance program and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement and all the documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Duncan. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute all documents necessary to apply for and accept Section 5307 Operations and Capital Grant from the Federal Transit Administration and the United States Department of Transportation for fiscal years 24 and 25. These are the operating dollars necessary to run our transit system. It is heavily subsidized through state and federal dollars, which all transit systems pretty much in the United States are. This allows us to set those dollars in place for the upcoming fiscal year for our transit system, which will begin on October 1. We'd ask that you approve this resolution.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute all documents necessary and proper to apply for and receive a Section 5307 capital grant from the Federal Transit Administration for transit vehicles from the United States Department of Transportation.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to approve a sublease between the Kingsport Economic Development Board and the City of Kingsport for space at Fort Henry Mall. As we have been discussing for some time, the library project, the renovations for that, it is necessary in order to continue to provide library services to our citizens to temporarily relocate to the mall while the facility is to be remodeled. This agreement with our Economic Development Board kind of allows them to be the interface with the private sector of the mall and then sets everything up for the next couple of years where the library will be there. Obviously, we'll have more information coming out in regards to when this will take place, the exact dates, all that will be kind of subject to the bid documents, but and when that bid is opened and the award and the construction timeline. But we'll get that out in the coming months ahead. But going ahead and beginning to get everything set up, approval of this item will allow KDB to assist us with that. And so we'd ask that you approve this resolution, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving a sublease agreement with the Industrial Development Board for the City of Kingsport, Tennessee for space at the Fort Henry Mall for the Kingsport Public Library and authorizing the mayor to execute the sublease and all the documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of this resolution.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Alderman Olderman. Any discussion?
The library, Betsy, you may know this. There's about, 200,000 citizens a year that go to the library? Is that about the right number?
I'm not sure.
It's about 200,000. Is that the number?
200,000 citizens a year visit our library?
180.
180.
180,000. Okay. So that's a lot of traffic for the mall. That'll be good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anything, good comment. Anything else? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute all documents necessary to apply and accept a Section 5339 capital grant from the Federal Transit Administration for transit vehicles for the United States Department of Transportation. This will set the funding in place for us to replace 3 accessible transit vehicles. Hopefully be able to bring those back to you very soon for award of bid. But right now, this action form simply sets the funding in place. We'd ask that you approve the resolution allowing us to move forward with this.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to approve the public declaration letter to the Federal Aviation Association for drone use by city departments. Any city that is using drones for a variety of things, whether that be through search and rescue within our public safety areas or for things associated with communication towers, we have to have this declaration letter approved and in place. Approval of this action form will do so, and then will be a guiding document for those entities utilizing drones.
Thank you. I appreciate the education on this item this week, and I can really envision how helpful this would be, particularly in public safety. I'm looking at the fire chief. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the city attorney to execute a public declaration letter seeking a certificate of waiver or authorization of unmanned aircraft as a public aircraft operator for purposes of certain government functions as defined in 49 United States Code Section 40125, and authorizing the execution of any other documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of this resolution.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Alderman Cooper. Thank you. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution ratifying the mayor's signature on the Tennessee Department of Transportation Agreement Amendment 2 for Main Street Redevelopment Project. This is simply a housekeeping matter allowing this project to continue moving forward on the time that we have stated, and allows us to be able to draw down funds to pay the contractors working on this. Again, as stated last night, if you haven't been over on Main Street, we're starting to open up some of the sections on the east end. And so that is beginning to kind of give you an idea of what the finished product will look like here in the coming months.
Chris, and I know the board really appreciates that you provide periodic updates, not only to us, but to our citizenry. Yeah, it's not been the most fun thing in terms of just traffic around town, but it's going to be really great, the final product. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution ratifying the mayor's signature on amendment number 2 to agreement number 160028 with the Tennessee Department of Transportation for the Main Street redevelopment project, authorizing the mayor to execute all of the documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the amendment or this resolution.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of resolution adopting the ARCH written standards for emergency solutions grant as a condition of receiving the 2024 THDA Emergency Solutions Grant. You see those standards that are listed within the action form, as well as the summary here. We'd ask that you approve this, allow us to apply those standards to the grant we have received.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution adopting written standards for the 2024 Tennessee Housing Development Agency Emergency Solutions Grant.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Thank you, Alderman. Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? How long has this program been in effect, Chris?
ESG program has been in place for many years. The grants we've been kind of hit and miss on in terms of being awarded to it, but it's been a long-standing grant.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. Thank you. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
The last item is consideration of a resolution to award the construction contract to Preston Construction for the Justice Center new expansion and renovation project. Ryan has walked you through this project over the last couple of years as we have gone through the evaluation of that space, working with not only our police department, but also working with the court system as they will be moving out of our old city hall to occupy this space. Also have an opportunity to completely renovate this space. Very pleased with the bids, very pleased with the work that was done by a host of folks, especially Ryan shepherding this project over the last several years. As I stated tonight in my remarks to Jeff Fleming, we have obviously and rightfully needed to invested quite a bit of money into our facilities, providing for our employees, providing thus then for a higher efficiency of services throughout our city. This is that second phase. We've talked to you all about future phases and the need to replace some very, very old facilities. But for tonight, we're glad to be able to move this one forward. Like I said, very pleased with the bid. And also, let me take a moment just again to thank the county for the funding that they provided us. This project was a success as a result of them stepping up. We had to go back and ask them for additional money, just like we had to ask you all. Everybody believed in the project and everybody believed in the path we were going, and definitely we'll have a facility that we'll be very, very pleased with. So with that, Mayor, I'd ask that you all approve the resolution authorizing us to enter into this contract with Preston Construction.
Pretty good summary.
Thank you.
Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bid for the Justice Center new expansion and renovation project to Preston Construction Company and authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement for the same and all documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion?
Just want to comment on that this is an extremely large project, and I think the bid time on this is 960 days. So this is 2.5 years to do this entire renovation. I know sometimes when we award things and bid on things, everybody thinks they're going to be completed in a month or very quickly, and this is a very large project with a lot of moving pieces. It will be a wonderful addition for the courts and the police, and well needed, but it is going to take 2.5 years to complete.
Then I guess you can't relocate the Justice Center while you renovate it, can you?
Can't move it to the mall.
Very challenging.
You
Very
gotta work
challenging to
around
do
what
that.
you've already,
And the
every day.
police.
Yep.
That's the chief back there. He looks like he's,
We could put you in the mall.
Okay, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we have no items on the consent agenda. Move into communications and Mayor and Tommy. I'll simply repeat kind of what I stated downstairs in our reception tonight. Thank you so much for your service, not only over the last several years, but both of you all have served this city or served our country in so many different ways. And on behalf of the entire city staff, we thank you for stepping up and being willing to serve in the role of an elected official within our city. It means a lot to us when people step up to that level and serve. They come alongside us in all aspects of what we do. We talk often to our new hires about being a city family, and obviously the 7 of you all are part of that family, and so we'll miss seeing you up here, but I know you're going to be around and going to be involved. Tommy's already told me he plans on calling me, and I look forward to those conversations, and I'm sure we'll be talking DB football Friday night and other things and down the road. Mayor, I know you're finally getting to retire, and Mary has a lot of things planned around the house as well as trips, and both of you all, as I say to everyone that moves into that retirement, you've earned it, all aspects of it. Go enjoy it, and we thank you for your service.
Thank you. People have been asking me, what are you going to do when you retire? And I said, whatever Mary says. But,
Story of life.
yeah, thank you, Chris. I'll start tonight with Alderman Montgomery not too far away from being Mayor Montgomery.
Thank you, sir. You're not gonna wash your car 3 times a week?
That's an inside joke, but it's a joke. Okay.
Let me again say what I said downstairs. I really appreciate serving with you guys. You are good Americans. Take a word from you, Mayor, that I really appreciate your friendship, appreciate your leadership and your guidance along the way. And if I had a mayor's coin, I would give you. So I will reserve, get you a rain check to come back a later time and see what we can do for you.
Thank you.
But I appreciate work with you guys and wish you the best and Godspeed.
Thank you, Paul. Is that it?
That's it.
James?
Okay, 2 housekeeping things. Dad's birthday is Thursday, so happy birthday, Dad.
Yeah.
Now, DB does have a game on Friday night, but by far the most important part of that football game is that Landry will be cheering Friday night with the little cheerleaders. So make sure and check her out down there. But, okay, I just wanted to say, T.O., it has been an honor to serve with you the last 5 years. I am absolutely going to miss sitting next to you and hearing your stories and experiences. You are an absolute great example of what it means to be a Kingsport person. And Mayor, so when you were elected, I did not know you very well. I know that you served as an alderman, but that was when my dad was mayor, and I didn't live here for that whole period of time. I was away. But over the last 5 years, I have really got to know you and appreciate and learn from you from the way that you've served as mayor. I appreciated the way that you have protected and defended this board against the hateful and personal attacks that occurred during our first 2 years together on the board. And you have gone above and beyond to explain to citizens what is going on during the meetings and throughout the year. And I think that's something that I've really learned from you, is that we take for granted how much people out there really know. And I've appreciated that you have explained that so well to people. And then most importantly, I appreciated the way that when we've ever disagreed, which has been rare, but on meetings, it has not affected our relationship outside of BMA. And so I try to always learn something from people in leadership positions, and over the last 5 years, I have learned quite a bit working with you, and I will miss you being our mayor.
Thank you. Tommy?
Well, DB, I guess, is my favorite subject this time of year. They got a ball game Friday night.
Yeah, first one.
I hope they're ready.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say.
Volleyball's already started.
Yeah, volleyball.
Soccer's
everything
already
else.
started, yeah.
A lot going on.
So,
Tommy,
let's
thank
get
you.
in there and support the Indians.
All right. Daryl?
Yeah, just some brief comments. I really appreciate both you and Tommy, and your dedication really to our service and community is really just it'll be hard to be matched. It certainly will. So, for you, Mayor, what you alluded to downstairs, you did kind of come in difficult times here when we come in on the board together, and yeah, we did. And so, with our healthcare system and then COVID hit and our budget dropped like a rock, we appreciate just your leadership through that and your passion for the citizens. I know that you'll go down as being one of the best communicators, it's like James said, with our citizens and with your weekly emails. But really appreciated the time we've spent cutting ribbons. We've cut a bunch of ribbons, and so you kind of said I'd be your wingman being there, and I appreciate that. I'll be your wingman anytime, so I consider that to be an honor. T.O., for your many years of dedication, I really appreciate everything that you've done. You've had an attitude of still being an athlete. You can't be stopped. I know your health at times was, kind of hindered you. I know you didn't feel great being in a work session and even being here, but you're still here along with your chauffeur, D. And so you never missed a meeting, and I'll always be able to call you a friend and a colleague.
Okay, thanks.
So, and Roll Tribe, I'll give you that.
Okay. Roll Tribe.
So both of y'all,
That's
you
like
kind of
from
change
Gate
it.
City guy.
That's right, from a Gate City guy, Roll
That was,
Tribe.
yeah, that was.
And,
Tough on him, isn't it?
And, but, you know, as each of your chapters in your lives change, you've made an impact with your achievements on, with the city, and you've impacted each one of us too. And, you know, we're gonna have a good board going forward. I'm anxious, you know, to kind of get that going, but, it also is kind of a hint of a error for us as well. So, good luck to you and best in the future, and I look forward to coming back, so, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Bessie?
I'll just piggyback on what everybody else says. It's been an honor and privilege to be on the board with both of you. 7 years with T.O., and T.O. and I go back, I said I can't remember not knowing him. It's probably 60 years plus that I've been around Tommy, so I've enjoyed.
If it wasn't for her brother, I'd never graduated from.
He was my brother's age, so my brother all through junior high and high school, so, and I think he even had my mother-in-law in 5th grade, so.
Yeah, I did.
So Tommy and I go way back, but it's been fun to get to be on the board with you and travel and just be with you 2 or 3 times a month. And Dee, I think you need to be our honorary alderman. I said, I appreciate you, seeing your face there every time and talking to you at all the meetings, so it's been really good to reconnect with Dee too over the years. And Pat, you know, I've enjoyed serving with you. I said, I remember Pat too in high school. He was several years old, just a couple of years older, but I remember his name through high school. And I remember the first time I really talked to you, you probably don't even remember, you were running for county commission and came and asked to put a sign in my yard when I lived on Lamont. And I told you, sure, that you were the only person that I've ever seen come by and ask. So that was, I don't know how many years ago that was, but we were neighbors back then, and he came by, and I really appreciated that, and he's lived up to that. He's been always accessible and been walking the streets and talking to citizens for the whole time, for the last 5 years he served on the BMA. And I want to apologize in advance. Paul, I won't get to be at your first meeting as mayor. I have annual conference for the Tennessee Charitable Care Network that I'm going to on September 3rd, so I won't be here, but I will be here in spirit for you and the new board, so that's it.
Thank you, Bessie. Vice?
Well, before I say great things about y'all, the young lady that spoke earlier and was asking, talking about the homeless, I know the United Way just put out some really wonderful information with a map of all the different services that we have, that does have list every place that does food, every place that does shelter. It was a really good document. I think DKA distributed it, and I'm pretty sure that Jessica made sure that the young lady that was here did have a copy so that she will know where the shelters are and what is all available. And I know that United Way, we've got wonderful social workers, and the United Way has worked really, really hard to make available to people all the services that we do have. And this is just, a lovely area that we have a lot of giving people, and I really just hope that we can continue to have, and I know Jonathan and Aaron work every single day, person to person. They know people's names. They work with them on what is available and do a wonderful outreach program. And so I think that if there are people still in need that you see out there, if you all will make some copies of this information from the United Way and just have them available to hand out, I think that would be wonderful so that we can showcase all the different things that are available to really helping people and giving them a hand up. Because I think everyone on this board, and I have worked on one project or another project with every single person on this board, whether it was a food pantry, serving food, building a habitat house, working with the food pantries, Meals on Wheels, the clothes closet. I mean, everyone here has done care to try to make our city better and try to outreach to the people that are in different situations and do need some assistance. So I think all of us have seen that firsthand. And I think that sometimes when we're sitting up here and we're all cleaned up and dressed nice, people may not recognize that we're the same people out there doing those jobs. So we are out in the public, and we do see it firsthand, and we do still constantly work with the less fortunate citizens in our community. But I do think if everyone that would have the information to give out, because the lady there said that she did not know where the shelters were. And it is a lovely map that tells you every single meal where the people can eat. And
Great
it said, I think everybody here got a copy, and I think it was, I sent it out to a lot of people. So, if we need to probably just always have some available for the people down there. So, and then I will say that I think 9 years ago when T.O. joined the board, I was probably the only person in all of Kingsport that did not know T.O. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm also probably the only person that has ever gotten a car with you and rode to Nashville on one of our trips and survived to come back. So I think I'm probably, it has been an honor getting to know you, and I thoroughly enjoyed our time together. I said you really brought a lot to the table, especially with economic development, your knowledge of people everywhere we went. Everybody knows you. Everybody has a story. It's a whole different thing. But everybody knows you. You introduced us to so many people and got the door open to get us in the room where we needed to be. And a lot of the things that you brought to the table have been wonderful, and I did learn a lot from you over the years. Whether I'll ever ride in the car with you again is still questionable. However, you are my friend, and I will have a drink with you any day of the week. So I appreciated getting to know you. And Pat, I have really enjoyed serving as vice mayor under your mayor, even though you never missed a meeting. I think I got to do one work session.
Had to leave a little early.
Because you made sure there was nothing on the agenda and I couldn't mess it up, and you had to leave early. But other than that, you have, held down the fort, and as everybody said, you have done a wonderful job trying to communicate to our citizens in what we do, how this works. And we did have some really challenging times when you first started, and then, of course, we threw in COVID just after we had a great strategic plan. I appreciate how you handled the meetings and how you communicated and how you kept us all together. And as been mentioned, we don't always agree on everything, and I'm usually the one that doesn't agree. And we've all got along great, and everybody's been always so professional, and you've always done it as a really good, like this, decisions are decisions, people are people, and it's okay. It's
Except
okay.
those amendments.
I know. I had your back on that.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your leadership and where you've advanced the city, and that you never let up on paving, and that you kept in great communication. And I've really appreciated serving with both of you guys. And those are my nice remarks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, all of you. I guess as our audience has figured out that Tommy's last day, my last day serving on the board is 31 August. 1 September, I'm turning it over to Paul. And Paul, congratulations again.
Thank you.
You'll do great. There's a lot of folks here to help you. Your colleagues sitting here on the board and the staff. The staff has been wonderful for me, and I know they'll do everything they can to help you. I hope I've been some assistance. We've had some transition, but call me anytime. It's always good to have kind of a sounding board.
Thank you.
James, you've been the youngest BMA BMA member for many years, and you've held your own. And in fact, I've got a total of 16 years elective service between county commission and here, and you've been the fastest learner I've ever seen. I mean, new people come and go, but you picked up on what we do. You've been productive. You know how things work. You've been engaged. I think one day I'll be calling you mayor of Kingsport, and you will have earned it. Tommy, old friend, you and I are closest. We're 1 year apart at Dobbins Bennett. I guess we share a lot of memories of old Kingsport, and you've gone from being an outstanding athlete to dedicated public service. You've loved Kingsport. You've served Kingsport in a variety of ways for over 50 years, and it's simply my honor that we're going out to go out together. Daryl, my wingman. It seems like whenever there's some kind of public event that Daryl's there, and there's a simple reason for that. Both Sharon, Daryl's wife, and Daryl love Kingsport, and they're just motivated by serving their fellow citizens. They both have a big heart. I'm lucky. I'm going to keep seeing Daryl because we're both Kiwanians, and I just know that I'm going to see him throughout the city continuing the service. Betsy, you know, when I learned that you'd become the director of Friends in Need, I really wasn't surprised, because Friends in Need is a very caring organization, and I thought, well, that fits Betsy. Betsy is a caring, compassionate, competent person, and it was a great fit. And Betsy, I'll never have another Christmas without thinking about you and the trees over here in all the city parks. Thank you. Just keep being Betsy. Colette, Vice. Colette and I have been to a lot of meetings together because we both served on the county commission together as well as this board, and some of that experience we'll just keep between us, I guess. But I'm going to miss my trips over to your office. It's a short walk from City Hall to Colette's real estate firm. And I could always count on her to state her true, honest, and thoughtful belief or her take on a various subject.
I know, hard to believe, huh? Okay. I can't believe you think that's always what I thought. I thought I hide my feelings so well.
Yeah. Colette, you got to work on your shyness, I guess.
I know.
Okay. But Colette, you just have an immense talent, initiative, common sense, and devotion to Kingsport. I'm going to miss serving with you. That brings me around to Mr. City Manager. You know, Chris has been with the city ever since he finished his graduate degree in city management. And, you know, rising through the ranks, it's a giant step to go from being one of the guys, so to speak, to being the guy in charge, and he's handled it brilliantly. And he's achieved outstanding results. I thank you, Chris, on behalf of our citizens. Thank you personally, because you've always been there for me when I needed your help. So I guess that leaves my fellow citizens. Kingsport will continue to have a conscientious, caring, and wise board of mayor and aldermen, an outstanding, dedicated city workforce. My time's growing. I'm just thankful to be a citizen of this great city. I would say people first, mission always, meeting adjourned.
Very good. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Okay.